Rapid revision to the chapter Power Sharing. Welcome at the platform Deeksha Vedantu. My dear class 10 students, this is your SST faculty Tanvi Ma'am, and today we will be rapidly revising this chapter Power Sharing from your Civics book. And I think that this is the first chapter we studied in class 10. And you might have forget that, right? No need to worry because today we are going to revise it thoroughly just in few minutes. By the word power sharing itself is justified that this is very essence or very basis of a democratic system. Okay, a democratic country cannot exist without power sharing, like our family cannot. For an example, your mother gives you breakfast early in the morning. What happens someday? Mother says that I am not going to make the food, right? Everything will be like in a situation of chaos. What if one day father says that, oh, I am not going to pay your fees for your education? What happens then? So there will be a problem when powers or responsibilities are not shared in a family. Similarly, whenever powers are not shared in a country within the people, right, within the different what we can say group of people, social groups, etc., then there will be a situation of utter chaos. What happens if in India, as India is a Hindu majority nation, all the Hindus come together and say that from today we will be ruling and we will have no one in the government? What would happen? This will lead to the division of country. Like Marathas will be different, Gujaratis will be different, South Indians will separate, Northeastern states will separate, and this will be a situation of utter chaos. To solve that problem, the democratic systems or democratic setups have evolved with this power sharing concept, right? In this chapter, we will learn it by the story of two nations. One is Belgium and the other one is Sri Lanka. Belgium adopted the power sharing concept, however, Sri Lanka denied it and led to civil war in that nation. So let us move further with the country Belgium. Belgium is a country in Europe. You all know that. Do you know its size? It's even smaller than the state of Haryana. See, in that smaller state, there was civil crisis. Okay. So what led the civil crisis? Let us talk about it. It is basically in Europe, smaller than Haryana. Okay, it is bordered with Luxembourg, Germany. In the north, it's Netherlands, and then we have France here. If we talk about the population of this country, Belgium, you know it has a population of little over 1 crore only, right? That is even half to the population of Haryana. So we as a nation, India, such a large nation with so many states, with so many sect of people, different culture, traditions are living together, right? Consider a situation that a country that is even smaller than Haryana is fighting over something, and what was that something? It was their ethnic composition. Do you know what is ethnic means? Oh, why you don't know? Because every Diwali, whenever comes, we are ready to wear that ethnic dresses. So basically, the word ethnic means that whenever the society is divided, okay, whenever the society is divided on the basis of its culture, tradition, etc. Like in our culture, we have a separate way of dressing, but in North India, you will see that there is a separate sense of dressing. Okay, Northeastern state, Gujarat, Rajasthan, etc. They have different language, traditions, etc. So yes, in Belgium also there was different ethnic division. For an example, if I tell you, like consider this is the map of Belgium, okay? The northern part of Belgium was known as Flemish region. It was known as what? Flemish region, where 59% of the population lives here. Pay attention, this is very, very important. Flemish region, where 59% of the population lives here and speaks the language Dutch. Say it loudly, and speaks the language Dutch. The second region, this is Wallonia region, okay? This is Wallonia region, where 40% of the total population of that is very, very important over here. 40% of the total population lives and speaks the language French. What about that 1%, ma'am? So this 1% people speak German, and they were like what we can say fragmented. They were divided, okay? So what is the ethnic composition of Belgium is very, very important question. 59% of the people lives in Flemish region. They speaks the language Dutch. 40% of the total population lives in Wallonian region and they speaks the language French. Remaining 1% lives in German region. Now the question suddenly is hitting our mind, ma'am, what is the problem in India? We have so many diversity and so many linguistic people. Then why these people were fighting? Because the situation in the capital of Belgium is quite different, my dear students. What happened in the capital? Here somewhere lies the capital, that is Brussels. Okay, and situation was such that if we evaluate here, the majority speaking, okay, the majority speaking people in Belgium is basically Dutch. However, if we neglect this German, the minority here speaks the language what? French. But the situation is vice versa in the capital C. 80% of the people speaks French while 20% of the people speaks Dutch. And now this is the biggest problem, ma'am. How? Because what happened? This led to the tensions between Dutch and French. Pay attention here. Who were in the majority in the country? Coming down right now. Who were in the majority in the capital? Coming down right now. Okay. So the minority French speaking community in the nation, okay, the minority French speaking community in the nation were relatively rich and powerful. Whoever is rich will enjoy the powers, that is very, very definite. पैसा है तो सब कुछ है भाई. Okay. So the minority French speaking community was rich and powerful. Whenever there was power in the government, they had it. Whenever the benefits of the governments were released, they grab it sooner. So Dutch people were not happy by that, right? They were resenting this because whenever it is about benefits, they were not getting all the benefits in the nation that they are required to get because they are majority in the country, and this led to the problem of what? Civil tensions within the nation. What? Civil tensions within the nations, and it was particularly the time of 1950s to 1960s when the country was facing civil tensions, but they are quite smarter. Okay, they are quite smarter. They find a solution to this problem that is popularly known as accommodation in Belgium. Be concentrated because important 5-mark question is going to come from this topic. Okay. Now, whenever you need to solve a problem rises, okay, first you will find the cause of the problem. What is this problem? Why it arrived, right? Basically, this is the major thing that should come in your mind. So, people of Belgium realized that because of the cultural and, pay attention, because of the cultural and geographical differences, we people are fighting. To solve that, what can we do? We can share the power. How can the power be shared? Because our constitution is unitary form of government. Okay, in our constitution it is what, bacha? It's unitary form of government when all the powers are in the hand of center. Rather than this, now let us try to distribute this power and make it a federal government. Okay, for this thing they have amended their constitution. How many times? MCQ, where it is? How many times? 4 times. So they have amended the constitution 4 times between 1970 to 1993, my dear kiddies here. From 1970s to 1993, constitution was amended 4 times. Now be ready for that 4 steps taken by Belgium government. The first thing, the constitution said that the number of Dutch and French speaking ministers in the central government will be equal. Now, think that you just got a pizza at your home, right? Your 2 siblings, you are the elder one and the other is younger one, and you are thinking that because I am elder, I have a big stomach. Why not I eat the 3 slices and that one eats the 1 slice? Will it be possible? That younger will start crying, okay? He or she will call your mother and create the problem in the house. Then your mother will advise, it's 1 pizza, divide it equally. So similarly, constitution prescribed that number of Dutch and French speaking ministers shall always be equal in the central government. Now you might be thinking, but ma'am, here there is a problem, because Dutch were how many percent? They were 59%. Why they accepted that? You will get the answer in the same video. Okay, many powers of the central government was given to state government. Pay attention, we know that there is a structure that central government will rule the nation. That country will be divided into provinces that are known as state. But up till now, before 1970, the situation of Belgium was such that all the powers were in the hands of central government. Now they decided that we will share the powers with the central government, with the state government, so that state government is not at all subordinate to the central government. Okay, now comes the Brussels. Brussels will have a separate government, right, in which both the communities have equal representation. Very good. Apart from this, very innovative thing was done by Belgium, that they formed a third kind of government, that is community government. Now what is this? Now, who were fighting? Two communities, French and Dutch. Why were they fighting? Because they have difference of culture, traditions, language, etc. What if these communities have their own government and makes the law related to all those activities that are related to that community, like language, okay, education, culture, tradition, festivals, etc. The problem will be sorted. Similarly, they have formed a community government, and this community government has the power to make laws regarding the culture, education and language related issues. So now this country has done a very good thing that is referred as power sharing. Do you know, the result is fascinating, because this arrangement, after this arrangement of Belgium, it became a so peaceful place. It avoided the civil strife, or what we can say, it avoided the division of countries, like what we couldn't even able to do at the time of India-Pakistan division. Okay, so they saved the division of a nation on linguistic issues. Okay, and do you know, Brussels, as it became a very good place, it was chosen as a headquarter for European Union. Okay, and this was the result, a positive result of power sharing. So this is a good family which always used to share powers within the members of the family. Now let us move to the second one. Very cruel family this is. Okay, I think that you might be enjoying the video because everything is noted out here. My dear students, I know you need notes now, right? If you have not made it up till now, we made it for you. You just need to join this WhatsApp channel. Link is given in description. Everything will be available there, talking about the notes of these videos, the lectures we are going to upload in future, and you will be having direct access to everything. Okay, just join this WhatsApp channel. Now coming towards Sri Lanka, the bad family. Okay, now Sri Lanka is a small island nation, we know that, just few kilometers away from Tamil Nadu, in the southern coast of Tamil Nadu, right? It's about a nation that is having 2 crore population. Now what was the population of Belgium coming down right now? Okay, and this is equals to that of Haryana. Island nation in South Asia, just 2 crore population. And do you know, this got independent just 1 year after India. Okay, so it got independent from Europeans in the year 1948, as India got independent from Britishers similarly. Now what happened in Sri Lanka, we will get to know once we study the ethnic composition in Sri Lanka. Again, a very important 3-marker question. What is the ethnic composition in Sri Lanka? My dear students, see. So Sinhala speaking, basically Sri Lankan people speaks a language that is Sinhala, which is a type of Dravidian language, like Tamil, Telugu. All these are the family. All these are the result from the families of Dravidians. Okay, so Sinhala speaker lives here in Sri Lanka, and that too their population is 74%. That clearly signifies they are in majority. They are in what? Majority. And do you know the religion they follow is Buddhism? What it is? It is basically Buddhism. The next one are Tamil speakers. Okay, Tamil speaker here are 18%. However, they follow the religion either Hinduism or Islamism. Pay attention. Sinhala speakers 74% Buddhism. Tamil speakers 18% either Hindus or Islam. But there are people who also follow Christianity in this island, and they are 7% in number. They are 7% in number. Now comes the question, ma'am, what do they speak? Do they speak English? No. So they either speak Tamil or they speak Sinhala. But the story has a twist that among these Tamil speakers, there are two types of Tamilians living here. Either they are Sri Lankan Tamils. Now, why do we call them Sri Lankan Tamils? Because they are indigenous inhabitants of Sri Lanka. Okay, and they are 13% in number. Rather, there are 5% Indian Tamils. And now, why Indians went there? So, because of fishing, what we can say, or whenever Britishers were ruling the India and Sri Lanka, there was movement among the people. This is how the ancestors, their ancestors belong to India, but now they have settled over there. So they are counted as Indian Tamils, and that too they are 5%. From this chart, you are very much clear that the majority here are Sinhala, right, and the minority here are Tamilians basically. Now what would be the situation if they both lived peacefully? There will be no chaos in the country. But what happened is a sudden twist. The country became independent, and just after getting independent, the major task was to make the constitution, as it was for India too. Right? They started making their constitution, and the twist they added is something very different, because this has created a heating effect, okay, which they are facing up till now. That is majoritarianism. And what is majoritarianism? Whenever the group of people make laws such that they remain in majority throughout, that concept is known as majoritarianism. And Sri Lankan peoples has followed this majoritarianism. How? Question for 3 marker, because 3 points are given. In 1956, an act was passed to recognize Sinhala as the only official language, thus disregarding the language Tamil. Okay, in a nation there will be only one language, Sinhala, as an official language. And a question from my side to you: does India has an official language or not? Or does India has a national language or not? Coming down right now. Okay, the second thing they did, they said that the government will make some preferential policies. For what? They will give preference to Sinhalas in terms of university admissions and government jobs. Why? Because they are in majority, they will get the preference. That is wrong, because we also are the citizens. This was the question raised by Tamilians here. Okay, a new constitution stipulated that they will foster and protect Buddhism. And whenever the question of religion comes, we like Asian people particularly get triggered so much, and this was the matter of getting triggered. Why not other religion? Okay, because of this majoritarian measures, the Sri Lankan felt that Sri Lankan Tamilians felt that we are being felt alienated. No right of language is given, our religion is not protected, no preference is given to us in terms of jobs, etc., and we are totally discriminated. Right? What do you think, that they will sit quietly on a chair and see everyone taking advantage of their population? No. They raised their voice, they formed a political organization, and one among the famous one was what? LTTE, that is Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam. And these LTT wanted that this region, this northeastern part of Sri Lanka, to be declared as a separate nation for Tamilians, because here in majority Tamil people lives here. Okay, they claimed it, and this was referred as Tamil Eelam. What do you mean by Tamil Eelam? A separate land for Tamil. Now, as people are not happy over here, what do you think it will result as? It resulted in civil war in the nation. This civil war recently ended in 2009, but it has deteriorated the social, economic and political situation of that nation. Okay, From whole story, I think that you understood that, ma'am, yes, power sharing is desirable, but why? Right? In exam, they will not understand that you understood this point. They will see that you can write answers or not. So why is power sharing desirable? There are two reasons for the same: prudential and moral reason. Right? Prudential is when we understood everything, calculated everything, and then give our point. So what is the prudential reason? Power sharing is good because it reduces the possibility of conflict between the social group. Whenever your pizza will be distributed equally, both of you siblings will be happy, na? But if not done, then it will be a conflict. Similarly, it reduces the conflict between the social group, and this will ensure the stability in the political order. Right? Sometimes what happens now, whenever the majority is trying to impose their will over the minority, right? The minority, it may be a good option for short run. Like if you are taking advantage of your younger sibling all the time, it will be an option for a short run. But when they grow up, they will take the badla from you. Definitely they will take the badla from you. Okay? So this is a good option for a shorter run, but not for a longer one, my dear students. Because tyranny, that is atyachar, okay? Atyachar done by this majority is just not oppressive for minority, rather this is oppressive for them too. How can we understand this point? Because we see in Sri Lanka, majority oppressed the minority for a longer time. What they got as a result? Civil war, civil tension, problems in society, economic decline, and many more. Okay, so this is what we need power sharing. There are moral reasons also, like it is the very spirit of democracy. Okay, in this both the people who is being like affected and who is being exercising their power, both are involved. People have the right to be consulted whenever there is power sharing, how they are going to be governed, because power sharing is very much needed in democratic government, and democratic government is the legitimate government. Do you know what is legitimate? Whenever the citizen says that this is the government made by me and I have the right over it. Okay, so this is why power sharing is desirable. I just taught you the prudential and the moral reason, and the last and the important topic of this chapter. Yes, dear students, we reached to the last topic, that is power sharing in the modern democracies. You might be thinking that, ma'am, this is just theory. Just tell us the reality, that where power sharing is done in modern democracies. So here are the four options. Powers are shared among different organs of government, among different levels of government, okay, among different social groups, among different political parties, pressure groups, and movement. Now what are they? Let us have a deep analysis to this. First point, very important, 5-mark question, pay attention. First point, power is shared among different organs of government. So we know that in government there are various work. For example, in a family there are work like to buy grocery, okay, to take care of children, to take care of monetary related issues, and everything is divided very nicely. Similarly, the power to make law, that means to legislate, okay, to execute that law and to look after that law, is divided into 3 organs of government: legislature, executive, and judiciary. This is known as horizontal division of power. All this is very nicely explained in one short video. You can watch it, okay? And it is based upon the system of checks and balances. If we talk about power sharing at different levels of government, so we know that whenever the powers are in single hand, they will definitely take the negative advantage of it, okay? So powers are divided between central government, that takes about the care about whole Indian Union, then state government, for example the state government of Karnataka, state government of Madhya Pradesh, etc. Then we have local government also, Nagar Nigam, Nagar Palikas, etc. And this division of power sharing is like this, hence it is known as power sharing among different levels of government, okay? The next one here is power sharing among different social groups. If we look at India, there are various social groups living, right? And if not equally shared with power, they will fight, there will be conflict, and India will be divided into number of territories. We are sure about that. So yes, power can be shared among different social groups like linguistic groups also. Okay, if we talk about the example, ma'am, where is the example that such power is being shared? Yes, community government. See, power was shared in Belgium among the community government. What it is? Among social group. Okay, we can take one more example from India, that is reservation in India. See, reservation in India is given to the groups like scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBC, non-creamy layer ones. Okay, and what are they? They are the social groups within our society. Last one, that is power is shared in modern democracies between what? Between political parties. Now, we know that there might be a situation when one political party could not gain majority of votes. Now what that? Can we run a country without a government? Not at all possible. So there was a concept known as coalition government. What it is? This is coalition government. When two or more than two political parties come together to form government, what are they doing? They are sharing this power. Okay, they are sharing the power. Role of opposition in a democracy, what it is? Power sharing. Okay, pressure groups, what are they doing? They are pressurizing the government that you need to do this, you need not to do this, etc. So this is how they influence and control the government, and power is shared. Okay, one more time that we are revising the same thing. Power in modern democracies is shared among different organs of government. What are the organs? Legislature, executive, judiciary. Also known as horizontal power sharing, based on checks and balances. Come to the next one, among different levels of government. What are the levels? Central government, state government, and local government. Among different social groups, example, community government, and last but not the least, among different political parties. And here we have entered the very important chapter, that is power sharing. My dear students, this is very, very needed because I know your pre-boards around the corner. Okay, you just need to do one thing, to hit the subscribe button right now, because we have bought this rapid revision series on our channel where everything will be taught in English and you will be getting the videos of maths, science, SST. Hit the subscribe button, be the part of Deeksha family. Thank you.